If I told you there's a way you can cultivate any positive quality, whether it be courage, confidence, inner peace, etc., and that you can do it fast, would you believe me, or would you think that's too good to be true? See, for most people, this idea of personal change is appealing, but it's really hard. People feel kind of stuck in their ways, or if change happens, it happens very slowly over time. But I sincerely believe there's a way that this can be drastically accelerated. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a simple method that allows you to do that, to leverage everyday experiences to exponentially increase your evolution. So as we dive into this concept, the first idea you need to understand is based on something Einstein once said. He said the most important decision you make in life is whether you believe you live in a friendly universe or a hostile universe. And now, of course, curious, what is it for you? Is the universe friendly or hostile? And the answer to that question is so important because it completely informs our view of the world, our view of life, and our relationship with life itself. So let's run with the assumption that we choose to believe to live in a friendly universe, which for me, that means that we are perpetually being supported, guided, and protected. It's like the whole deck is stacked in our favor, and there's this loving intelligence that actually wants to help us. And our job is to align with that. So now back to this idea of personal change. The way to accelerate your evolution, and the thing that I have found so incredibly useful in my life, goes like this. We start by setting an intention for a quality we want to cultivate within ourselves. So let's say, for the sake of this example, you want to become more patient. Okay, so you start by saying, okay, I really want to become more patient. I'm tired of being impatient and getting frustrated for, silly reasons. I want more patience. Now you hold that intention in your heart, like you really desire this. And from there, this friendly, loving universe is going to do something very powerful. It's going to start to create the perfect situations in your life, the perfect experiences in your life that give you a chance to cultivate your patience. But here's the thing. The way that's going to show up is situations that inherently have a tendency to make you feel impatient. So on the surface, it's going to look like challenges. It's going to look like annoyances. But the deeper truth is that is training. So for example, you have this intention, all right, I want to be more patient. Get in your car, you hit a traffic jam for no apparent reason. That's where most people would make the mistake of being like, I'm trying to be more patient, but I have to keep dealing with freaking traffic, man. But instead, what you want to do is recognize, thank you, God, for giving me the perfect opportunity to train the muscle of patience. Same thing if you're wanting to pay at the grocery store and the person in front of you is taking forever. Thank you. This is my patience training for the day. Same thing if someone's late for a meeting, etc., etc. And the key here is to really be able to recognize in real time, this is my training for this quality I'm trying to develop. This is not some sort of annoying thing. This is not a test. This is not a punishment. This is a gift, and I'm going to use it as such. This is what athletes have been doing forever, right? You want to cultivate a skill. You want to cultivate a strength. You put yourself in an uncomfortable situation where you're forced to develop this quality to become stronger, more skilled, etc. And that's how you become better. It's the same principle applied to life. And life itself becomes the training ground, becomes the dojo. And not only do we accelerate our growth, but these things that used to make us upset or annoyed actually become gifts and things that we can find joy in. So to give you a practical example from my life, something I've had the intention of for a long time is to be able to stay at peace in the midst of chaos. See, for me, inner peace, inner stillness is very important. So I've constructed my life around that. I live next to a beautiful lake, close to a forest, it's quiet here, and I get to experience a lot of peace. But naturally, sometimes life brings me into situations where there's going to be chaos, there's noise, and lots of people. And historically, it's not been the easiest thing for me to be standard and calm in these situations. So I've decided to work on that and improve that. And so just recently, the universe, in its infinite kindness, gave me an amazing opportunity to practice that. I was invited to go on a pilgrimage to India and to go be part of a very powerful experience, but there's going to be lots of people, there's going to be lots of noise. I've never been to India, but my understanding is that it can be quite chaotic. So I'm going there in a few weeks, and I can already see that this is going to be like a training camp for me in this ability to stay zen in the midst of chaos. And some younger version of me might have said like, nah, India is not for me. It's too crazy. I don't want to go. But this current version of me recognizes the opportunity, recognizes that this is training being offered on a silver platter by God. And so I signed up for the trip, and I start to get a little nervous, like, oh my goodness, all right, I gotta be able to stay chill and calm and collected while I'm in India so I can enjoy this trip. And so I prayed a little bit, and I was like, hey God, between now and then, help me prepare, help me train. And it is so funny because literally the next day, the training camp begins. And the shape it took is that currently I'm training to qualify for the High Rocks World Championships. High Rocks is a fitness sport that's becoming very popular, and I absolutely love it. So I go to the gym a lot to train for that. And the next day I go to the gym, and the way it's laid out, it's like a CrossFit gym. There's one part where there's a group class, and there's another part where I get to train where I usually have the space. That morning I walk in, my area of the gym is completely filled with children just running around like crazy. I learned after the fact that it was a day off at school. So I had to do this really hard workout with like kids throwing balls and screaming and running around. And I was able in that moment to recognize, okay, this is how I become Zen centered in chaos. I have the perfect training scenario. Thank you very much. And I did that. Next day, I go to the gym downstairs here where I live to run on the treadmill and do this hard interval session. And I get there and the lady next to me is on the treadmill, and there's one TV in the gym, and she's watching the news super loud. And I hate the news. I completely avoid it in my life. But that day I have to do this hard session and the news is on and it's loud. And once again, I had two options. I could go into this victim spiral and just be like, oh, what the heck? Why is she watching the news? Or recognize like, hey, yet another opportunity to train peace surrounded by chaos. And I did that. It was a beautiful session. And I kid you not, every day of the week, there was another situation like this. It was almost comical. I would almost like, by Friday, I was like, all right, what is it going to be today, God? I'm ready. And by the end of the week, not only did I get fitter in High Rocks terms, but because every day I had a training session for my nervous system, for my presence, for my mind, I became stronger and cultivated this quality. So whatever it is for you that you're wanting to develop as a quality, I mean, I'm curious, what is one virtue, one strength, one quality you want to develop? Maybe take a moment to just think about it right now. And the process to develop it is simple. There's 5 steps here. 1, choose to believe that you live in a friendly universe, that the universe wants to support you, it wants to help you, it's got your back. 2, have that intention to become, say, more courageous and hold it in your heart. Like, I really want this. 3, recognize in real time as the universe gives you the perfect opportunity to practice that quality. That can take any number of forms. The universe is very creative. 4, when you recognize that situation, now put in the work. Practice being that new version of yourself. Practice building that internal muscle. And then step number 5, rinse and repeat, baby. There will be more reps. There will be more situation because, of course, it doesn't happen all in one go. But if you do that consistently for enough days, enough weeks, guess what? You absolutely will develop that quality. And we're not talking about years here. We're talking months, sometimes even weeks. And that's the opportunity you have. But you have to recognize it. So before we wrap up, I'll leave you with one more story. Last week, I was having dinner with my mom, and she shared with me that she wanted to cultivate more unconditional love for humans and not get caught up in patterns of judgments when people around her act in a certain way that doesn't fit with how she views the world, which obviously is a beautiful quality. We all want to be more unconditionally loving, less judgmental. And I explained to her, I was like, hey mom, if you hold that intention, if you really want this, the universe will provide the perfect situations and you just have to show up and do the training. She's like, oh, okay, all right. So a couple of days go by, I go see her again and I'm like, hey, how's it going? She said, you won't believe it. The morning after we had that dinner, I showed up to my aerobics class and there's a guy that I guess she has a bit of a hard time with in her class, and he showed up late and went right in front of her, like was kind of almost blocking the view of the teacher. And she said, oh, usually that would have frustrated me and I would have been annoyed because he doesn't follow the rhythm. But this time I thought about what we talked about and I was able to see that this was my chance to be unconditionally loving, to be accepting, and to let go of judgment. And I did that. I had a great class. It was wonderful. So as you can see, she was able to recognize the situation, turn a potentially difficult situation into something beautiful, and you absolutely can do the same thing. So now that you've heard this is one of those concepts. Once you see it, once you understand it, you can unsee it. Now, your job is just to recognize the situation and to honor it and watch as your life expands, as you become stronger, wiser, more capable in whichever way you desire. So on this note, I wish you an amazing day feeling this friendly universe supporting you and recognizing the opportunities to improve yourself every single day. Have an amazing day. Much love.